I'm simple.
I like to introduce myself. My name is
King.
Churro. Alright, so after spending pretty much all of Sunday waiting on my wife. Y'all saw that, right? I showed the female Paul Blart, the rent-a-cop. I had to show them my VA medical record. So now I'm in the room, but my wife went to go get a CAT scan or CT scan to see if she has a hernia. Instead of at home resting, Saturday with my wife at Sam's Club instead of being at home resting. Now my wife says,
I have a headache. I'm just gonna drive home. You go get yourself something.
in reality, she wants me to say, all right, I'm going to go to wherever, and then she's going to put her order in, right? Well, you know what I did? I was like, that's cool. Come on home. I'll just make myself some top ramen.
Really? You're gonna be that lazy?
I mean, how's that lazy? We got food at the house I can make. I'll just go ahead and make myself some top ramen. I don't understand how that's lazy. I was like, you're just mad because I'm not going to go out and get you some food. She's like,
I'm mad because I have a headache and I have to drive all the way home.
I'm like, okay. But, and she's like,
if I would have said, all right, I want to get this food, and you would have told me what to get you.
I'm like, you would have done the same thing. But here you are, just get yourself something to eat. And I'm just going to drive home. The fuck out of here. Bruh. And then now she's like,
well, you didn't go grocery shopping today. I'm
like, I totally forgot all about it. I'm sorry. I was worried about the MRI, trying to get that scheduled. I did some house chores. I washed dishes. I took out the trash. I picked up a little bit around the kitchen, because throughout the weekend, she goes and buys stuff and then she leaves shit all over the place. And then on top of that, I don't know what to expect with my job. Thank God for Mike, who is willing to work with me. So if I need to find another job, that's gonna be the case. I know personally that it's not that easy to find another job. So I've been searching for jobs online. I found out through Indeed, Allied Universal, which is a security company, they're hiring for security guards for Coachella Fest and Stagecoach. I'm interested in going to their job fair this week. Find out what I can do. Obviously, with my knee being injured, there's not a whole lot I can do. I can't stand for prolonged periods of time. And I doubt that I'll be able to, walk around, rove around, or whatever. If they want to put me in a golf cart and I can roam around, if they want to put me in a chair and sit me in the parking lot, I'm cool with that too. But yeah, anything other than that, I really not much I can do. These 3 weekends, I wouldn't mind doing that. And then my wife's like,
well, you think you're gonna be able to stand all day? Da, da, da.
I'm like, you're jumping to conclusions again. Mind you, I haven't even gotten an interview. I haven't done anything else other than telling you that Universal Allied or Allied Universal is hiring for security guards for those 2 festivals. I said nothing else. But you jump to conclusions like everything else, and we get to arguing. My biggest problem is having to deal with a wife who jumps to conclusions for everything. Everything. And she thinks the wrong things. And she overthinks shit. And she overthinks the wrong things. That's what happens when she jumps to conclusions. Anyway, y'all. So, she's
like, I want to make you a list and you're gonna go shopping tonight.
I'm like, that's fine. Make a list. I'll trudge along. And she's like,
what do you mean trudge along?
I'm like, I'm hurt. I'm supposed to be sitting down resting my knee, and you want me to just keep pushing and pushing and pushing, and you don't give me the time to rest my knee. You want me to do this and that and this and that and walk around freaking Sam's Club or Costco. When is my knee gonna rest? I'm hoping this MRI constitutes me getting some physical therapy, and I don't know. My stepmom had said back in December that I needed to apply for temporary disability. Use that time, it's like 3 to 6 months, and use that time to recover, right? Get completely healed, and then get back on the job. I need to explore that. And maybe I don't have to quit Mike's company. Alright, so I just got off the phone with Spectrum. I forgot the young man's name, but he was really good to me. So if he does see this, sorry I forgot your name, but please leave your name in the comment. First name, I know you can't do last name. I had to cut off my landline and cut off my cable. I didn't have to, but it didn't make sense for me to pay those two when the landline was only good for the gate. So now I have to go back to the office probably tomorrow and have them put my cell phone number down as the contact for the gate. So when you dial in my gate code, it'll go to my cell phone instead of a landline now. Anyway, that was the only reason why I had the landline, is for the gate for when people coming in. The problem is the person prior to me that had that phone number was always getting calls. Now the reason why I decided to remove the cable was because, number one, it's not even cable anymore, it's off an app. Number two, when I established that cable, I had a bunch of channels that I had chose. Fox Sports Network, NFL Network, I had TNT, TBS, a bunch of different channels. And then my wife was like,
well, what about me?
They gave me 30 days to call them back and say, hey, remove these channels and let me replace them with these channels. And it's all the ones my wife chose: USA, WeTV, BET. My wife doesn't watch TV. Like, why did I need to change the channels if you're not going to watch them? And her explanation was that those channels weren't showing the shows that she used to watch on them. Okay. But I was stuck with these channels that my wife wasn't watching and I wasn't watching. And then I chose TNT because of AEW, but then AEW changed over to TBS. And since they did that, I wasn't able to watch AEW. I was able to watch AEW Rampage, but then I wasn't able to watch AEW Dynamite. And yes, there were really good matches on AEW Rampage, but the main show was Dynamite. And if I couldn't watch Dynamite, then what was the point? So anyway, I got that cut off. So now I'm paying $69 for my internet, 200 megabits per second. He says my rate was grandfathered in. I guess it's at a new rate now for the same 200 megabits per second. So he was like, if you're okay with it, I don't want to change it. I'm like, cool. I appreciate that, because anybody else would have been like, no, let's upsell this guy, blah, blah, blah. Now, the only thing I'm going to be missing really out of it is Me TV, because I like to watch cartoons in the morning, and then sometimes I like to watch some of the old shows. But you know what? YouTube, I could always YouTube these shows. Everything's on an app now, guys. Everything's on an app. My bro Luis, he's giving me access to his HBO Max. We have Hulu, we have Netflix, we have Disney Plus. All I'm really looking to maybe look at is Paramount Plus. So if I can get Paramount Plus, I'll be set. I can worry about AEW. I can go to YouTube and watch AEW. It's a little more complicated when doing that because they don't show the whole show, or sometimes I could just watch AEW Dark. Um, or maybe at 41 years old, I should just stop watching pro wrestling. That's kind of hard. Long story short, making changes in my life. Maybe for the good, maybe for the worse. I don't know. But all I know is that sometimes you have to prioritize your life. And if it means cutting out small things like a landline and cable, so be it. Remember that you're loved, and remember to be great every day. Peace.
Every day you wake up, you got a decision to make. To go right or left, up or down, right or wrong. At the end of the day, you make the decision. Nobody forces you. So make the right decision. Make moves, set the goal. Stop making excuses, man. And if it look like a duck, walk like a duck, and sound like a duck, it's a duck. Stop guessing. Just do the right thing. You heard? You hear me? I love y'all. Stay positive. Love one another.
All right.
Want to add one thing. Last night, like I told y'all, I was okay with eating some top ramen. I made 2 of them. I asked my wife, what are you going to eat? She wouldn't pass by any of the burger spots or whatever, right? Go drive through. She's like, I'll just eat a sandwich. Cool. She made me a sandwich. She made herself a sandwich. She's like, I'm still hungry. She had an apple. She was still hungry. Long story short, I'm simple. I'll eat this all day, every day. I don't care. She's a picky eater. So if you want something, you better go and get it.